So many police officers, sheriff's deputies, marshals, FBI agents, whatever, law enforcement professionals go through this identity crisis where the job becomes everything about them. Remember I said in 2001 I interned at police and I wanted to work at K-9, and I visualized it. And in 2012, I was approved to get on the K-9 unit, and I was so excited. In May of 2013, my dog and I became certified to work the road. I was ecstatic. I did not address my mental health enough during that job. As a K-9 officer, I got dispatched to more of these high-risk calls, the more intense calls, the more serious calls. Obviously, I had the dog, and I knew I was going to. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't actively cope mentally and physically well with all that was going on in that job. But the other thing was, it became who I was. People would say, "Oh, hey, I'm whoever. Nice to meet you, Scott. What do you do?" I would say, "I am a K-9 officer." It became my identity. It became my identity. It was not my job. It was who I was. And after only 3 years of working on the job and getting just wrapped up in it so much, I had become the husband I swore I'd never become, and I became the person I never wanted to become. My wife, we were driving down the road, and she told me, she said, "I'm having thoughts of living without you." I never thought I would hear that. That was me being in denial. That was me not being aware that I was bringing the job home, and I was wrapped up, and it was my identity. All these years, at that point it was 9 years on the job, and not being aware of avoidance behaviors, lack of emotional response, hopelessness, the addiction I went through. All those things, all the signs and symptoms I just talked to you about, not being aware of any of that, thinking I was fine overall, thinking I was fine overall. And she says that. So I made the decision to resign from the K-9 unit, but it was very hard to give that job up because I didn't know I didn't know who I was. And for the next year, I went through kind of a spell of depression. This job in law enforcement is what you do. It is not who you are. Who you are, I'm assuming, is someone who is driven to be of service to others, to help those in need. The job will not always be here with you. If you internalize it in a bad way, if you internalize it as who you are, as it says on the slide, that's a damaging mentality. I can speak from experience on that. Never forget who you are. Never forget what drives you, because the job will be gone eventually. You will work the full 30 and retire, or you will just have to move on to something else. It doesn't mean you're less of a person because you're not in law enforcement anymore. So never forget who you are, and that you're service driven. It's been an honor talking to you today. To all of you, I'm here for you. I've got your six. Each and every day, take care of yourself just as much as you desire to take care of the public out there. Stay well, stay safe, and do great.